Hello, YouTube and Rumblers. Okay, we got YouTube on. Do we have Rumble? Yes, we got Rumble. Okay, see, I'm getting better at this stuff. First of all, happy birthday to Matt Self. This is a birthday stream just for you. Well, not really. I just learned it. But anyways, good guy, good supporter. I have quite a number of things I want to be doing coming up, but this one's going to be interesting. You're going to like this one, I think, for all of you law nerds. This one took work. This isn't just Gosney improving. This is Gosney work, all right? And I wanted to share the wealth with y'all. So let's just say hello to everybody, and I will tell you about some things, and then we'll get into it. This is going to be one. Does everybody have their pencils? Got your pencils? I got my pencil. Give me something to write on, man. Okay. This is going to be an educational one for you law nerds. And that's what people most likely me for. That's like, oh, Gosney is this law guy. So for people that don't know me, stevegosney.com, all my books, I've got Death Penalty Debates, Ideas and Answers in Law, Prepare for Individual Freedom, and I also, the Handbook for Individual Freedom, and I also have a book that I just approved that's being printed right now called The Summer Friend. So for all books, so that's just to kind of make sure everybody's getting settled in and comfy. You got to breathe, right? Somebody said breathe, Rose. Experts here, because we're going to do some real lawyering tonight. All right. So I wanted to tell you just kind of like why I did this. I came across this reasonable burden of proof poster. Now, most people know it from the what's the name of that trial? Casey Anthony, I think it was, the Orlando trial, that they saw this demonstrative aid that had it was the preview slide. They saw that preview slide, but we use that occasionally in our office also, which is the demonstrative aid, which shows the little burden of proof line, right? And I was asking around, like, do we still use this? And some do and some don't. So we have some judges that do not allow that demonstrative aid. And of course, Gosney, the old appellate lawyer, says, that sounds like a problem to me. It seems to me that the defense is able to use such a demonstrative aid, right? That demonstrative aid is very helpful to the jury. It helps full explaining. You don't even know what's coming up. This is going to be a great stream. You are in the right place. Okay. You got it. This is going to take about an hour. All right. But I'll tell you, this is going to be very worth your time. Trust Gosney. You trust me, right? Come on. All right. So I'm thinking there's judges that don't let that in. That's wrong. And so I'm like, I got to set up an appeal for that, right? Because this is my job. I like to help the trial division strategize. So I hope I don't put all my cards on the table for you judges. But any judges out there, let them in. Let this thing in. It's a great aid. Okay. So just for you, I have prepared a little PowerPoint to discuss. And I also want to shout out to Corn Pope, because I've been thinking about this, because Corn Pope was the one that said you should do a thing on reasonable doubt. So all this reasonable doubt stuff has been rattling around in my head since Corn Pope suggested that. And then I saw that poster, and then I asked around, and then I said that some people don't use it, then I'm thinking appeals. And so this is the way the mind works. It starts a feedback loop of Gosney going, okay. So before we do that, we're going to start. I just want to say hello, first of all, to my Rumble friends. Bella the Bayou is always here. Thank you. And Chuck Renfro, the man himself who posts these beautiful pictures. I love his posts. Whenever he posts social media, he posts these idyllic little rural environments that make me want to like quit work forever. And Fast Group. Good to see you, Fast Group. And we've got a lot of people over YouTube. Let's just talk. We got the expert, Shane. The expert is and Shane, and Rose, of course, and MLS Law Show. And you're going to like this MLS. I'm telling you, you're a good man. I'll tell you, you're going to love this. So just strap in. All right. Sadie, Ellie, and let's see here. We got the regular chatters, and all of you guys that aren't chatting, but just listening. Diamonds and Hedda, Dudley, what's up? Darb, Jamie, Harlan, El Vivo, Veritas, interesting. Otto, And Matt, of course, Matt himself. Let's all wish happy birthday to Matt himself. And we're going to do a live stream. I'm going to do it. We've got to schedule something for RVs and AR-10s. This is the live stream for that. And then let's see who, Jamie, Otto, Luke. Oh, lots of people here, man. Good, good, good. Okay, so good. Lady Augram Sky. I love that. And I like a good PowerPoint. I got a PowerPoint laying in wait, right? Susan D, Winston Smith, and also Jay Liebgott. I'm going to get that wrong. Good to see you. And Danielle, of course. Now that Danielle's here, we can begin. All right, ready? Everybody ready? Thumbs up. Do we all say happy birthday to Matt? Burdens of proof. You're in the right place. Okay. Beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. Huh? What does that mean? What does that mean? That is a good question. Now let's see how I do this. Okay. Let's see if I can click. All right. So this is going to be clear, right? Okay. So this is all you really need, right? For all you folks, we have a definition in Florida standard. I'm a Florida lawyer, so we're going to go with Florida, right? Questions can be put in the form of super chats, but we'll get to them at the end at the appropriate time. All right. Florida Jury Instruction 3.7. This will explain everything. A reasonable doubt is not a mere possible doubt, a speculative, imaginary, or forced doubt. Such a doubt must not influence you to return a verdict of guilty if you have an abiding conviction of guilt. On the other hand, if, after carefully considering, comparing, and weighing all the evidence, there is not an abiding conviction of guilt, or if having a conviction is one that is not stable, but one which wavers and vacillates, then the charge is not proven beyond every reasonable doubt, and you must find the defendant not guilty because the doubt is reasonable. Does that sound clear? Is everybody clear on that? See, now that's the end of the stream, right? That's all we got to go. We can just go back, go tonight, and go watch everything else. What do you think? Is that clear for you? Okay, well let's talk. First of all, I want to shout out to Judge Lawrence Johnson, and this is an article I stole quite a bit from him in 1998. So let's break this down. All right. The first sentence. A reasonable doubt is not a mere possible doubt, a speculative, imaginary, or forced doubt. Now, let's just talk about the first sentence, right? First sentence, we good with this? You can't define something by saying what it's not. A car is not a fish. Does that tell you what a car is? Isn't that what a reasonable doubt is not a mere possible doubt, a speculative, imaginary, or forced doubt. Okay, so we know what it's not. All right, well, that might be helpful if we knew what it was. It's as far as like if it's confusing. But clearly a reasonable doubt is not a mere possible doubt. Okay, that doesn't really help us that much, does it? But that's the lead-off sentence in defining this reasonable doubt standard. All right, okay, well, but they're going to get to it, right? You know that these lawyers who are masters of the word and masters of the pen have obviously worked very hard to clear this up. So I'm sure that first sentence is going to be cleared up in the next two, right? Okay, well, let's see. Let's move on. So let's add comparisons in the beginning don't aid in the definition. So, I already said this. No definition is ever well, see, that's a spoiler. See there, I'm spoiler alert. I just put this PowerPoint together just for y'all, okay? So let's, the next one. Such a doubt must not influence you to return of guilty of not verdict of not guilty if you have an abiding conviction of guilt. So now we know what to do if they have a speculative, imaginary, or forced doubt. It doesn't tell us what reasonable doubt does, right? So see, going back, did you see that? So they're saying the doubts about speculative, imaginary, or forced doubts, those shouldn't influence you to return a verdict of not guilty. So, okay, but that doesn't tell me what reasonable doubt is. Okay, let's keep going. On the other hand, now here's the final penultimate paragraph. So here's the one. Okay, now we're going to get it defined. Now we're going to be defined, right? On the other hand, if, after carefully considering comparing and weighing all the evidence, there is not an abiding conviction of guilt, or if having a conviction, it is one which is not stable, but one which wavers and vacillates, then the charge is not proven beyond every reasonable doubt, and you must find the defendant not guilty because the doubt is reasonable. Now just look at that god-awful sentence. Oh my God. This is written by a committee, and it lives on for centuries in your standard jury instructions. All right, so let's break this down some more. The word conviction is repeated twice in this sentence and once in the previous sentence. Did you see that? Now, I will tell you that the Florida Jury Instructions Committee is filled with persecutors, and they systematically exclude us defense attorneys because we'll just muck up their clear instructions. So you've got conviction. My PowerPoint's out of focus, is it? I don't think so. It's the best I can do. So you've got conviction 3 times in 3 sentences, 2 times in this god-awful sentence. What does a criminal prosecution involve? Convicting criminals. What about you? Let's use the words persuasion or belief or view. There's so many better words than conviction, but we've got to repeat the word conviction 3 times in this 3 sentences, right? 2 in the last sentence, which is a muck. So it's like, so jurors, conviction. Oh, but find them not guilty if you have a conviction. Do you see I got a little problem with that? You could use a better word. What about belief? There is not an abiding belief of guilt, or having a belief, it is one which is not stable. Wouldn't that be better? And doesn't it psychologically not undermine the sentence as this does? Okay, you think that's my only bone to pick with this? Let's talk some more. It's 63 words long and has 8 commas. A typical sentence should have 20 words, not 20 commas. Now, is there any sentence of more life-changing consequence than this one? Yet this is the kind of muckety-muck that they foist upon us from the Standard Jury Instructions Committee. Now, note that this is not Gosney. Okay, that's the thing. Oh, Gosney, you're such a critic of the prosecutors. You're such a critic of the criminal justice system. Yes, I am. Okay. But this is not me. This is coming from a judge who wrote about this decades ago, pointing out these problems. Julie O, thank you for your, is that a Rumble rant or Super Chat? Super Chat. Julie O says, Steve, you need a Pilot Frixon pen. They erase by friction and are the best invention ever. Not sponsored, but should be. Funny. Pilot Frixon pen. But see, I use pencils because I have an eraser on a pencil. Okay, so let's talk some more. Okay, well, MG Law's here too. So we got MLS Law and MG Law. Okay, is that it? Is that my only complaint? Those 2? How about this one? This sentence's construction is absurd for a literate profession. It would be a dangerous sentence if construction in a hazardous profession. It would be a dangerous sentence, construction in a hazardous profession. So let's take this and analogize this. Like if you were some other profession that wasn't lawyers, we're only dealing with people like the death penalty and life in prison without parole, right? Nothing serious. So like, what if you're a bomb squad and you want to cut a wire? And here's the instructions to the bomb squad. Explosion, or if having a wire, it is one which is not blue, but one which is yellow or red, then cut the with that, okay. I think we'd have a lot of dead bomb squad people. Do you think you'd make the sentence clearer if you were trying to tell a bomb squad how to operate? I'm just making a slight suggestion here that there's a problem with this sentence. And what's the difference between a not stable belief and one which wavers and vacillates? It's an and. Does that add to the meaning? And why put not in front of one of the words and then but in front of the other two? I mean, that is a confusing sentence. It is a god-awful confusing sentence. Is that the best we can do? Really? Okay, let's keep pushing along here. The last two sentences are not, the last third of the sentence is nonsense. So let's break out just the last part of the sentence, which is really the meat of the whole thing. Removing a few words, here's what you get. Then the charge is not proven beyond every reasonable doubt because the doubt is reasonable. Is that a circular thing? Okay, so and that's a reasonable construction of the key part of this sentence. This is the definition of reasonable doubt. The charge is not proved beyond every reasonable doubt because the doubt is reasonable. Have we defined reasonable doubt? I'm just asking. Okay, and I'm criticizing. I am strongly criticizing. Yes, that this instruction sucks. All right, that's my reasoned legal opinion. Sucks. Okay. Now, this is the standard Florida jury instruction for defining reasonable doubt. All right. This is directly from Florida. You look it up for yourself. You think I'm lying to you. Florida Standard Jury Instruction 3.7. Go look it up yourself. That is it. That is what we tell the jury. And the judge reads it like this makes sense. And everybody looks around and agrees with it. Yes, we're lawyers. We've heard this before. This is so lawyerly and clever. You know, one thing I've worked very hard my entire life, and maybe you guys have read my books, will know that I try to be clear in my writing and clear in my thinking. This could use a lot of clarity. So look at this little baby. So here's the chart. Here is the chart that I just think is great. And so here comes the defense attorney. We're trying to explain to the jury beyond a reasonable doubt. So we'd like to have something a little less confusing. How about this little chart? And this one is commonly used. Okay, we got proven not guilty. Okay, well, that's clearly not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, right? Highly unlikely, less than likely, probably not, unlikely, and possibly not. Okay, all of those are not guilty. Perhaps, suspected, possibly guilty, probably guilty. Okay, we're up to there. I think we're safe in saying all of those are not beyond and the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, right? Guilt likely, guilt highly likely, and then guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, this demonstrative aid, I think, would assist a jury in detangling that god-awful Florida jury and standard instruction. So if I'm a defense attorney, I want to bring this chart up so that I can explain what the burden of proof is. Unhung Hero says, ambiguity in the law? Never. Yeah, but this is conscious. This is not something we need to live with. This is something that can be corrected. And let's just say we want to live with that god-awful instruction because it's tradition and we lawyers have wigs and we've always done it this way. And, you know, it goes back to 18 case of the Gosney versus the Slicer, right? Okay, fine. We got that. Let me use my demonstrative aid to translate this for the jury into something that is actually true. And this is factually true, actually true, and defines it much better. All right. So this is my argument. Let's keep going. Isn't this much more helpful? Isn't that much more helpful? And isn't it also a correct definition? Correct explanation of the definition? When I say reasonable doubt, this is a correct chart, isn't it? Isn't it? Come on, chat. Yes. All right. Ellie, come on. Yes. Let me get some feedback here. We're just watching. This is long class. See, I put work into these PowerPoints. So, see PowerPoints in Gosney's stream. See, this is what you get if you come to my American Law Courses class, by the way. You get hours of this. Hours and hours of this. All right. So, good chart, right? Now, bonus, you're getting the full. You're getting the full thing tonight. All right. Let me just bring up something different. My buddy John Terhune. You may know John Terhune. If you saw him, he was interviewed by Andrew Branca on his channel, and his channel was it was a case that he had won on I think it might have been a stage your ground immunity hearing. Okay. So, or a self-defense. That's what we call it in Florida. And Andrew would yell at me if he heard me say that. So I'll say a statutory immunity hearing. What do we call it? We call it a self-defense immunity hearing. All right. So this is going to take 8 minutes, but I want to show you a master at work. Okay. And a lot of people, everybody knows that I'm an appellate lawyer, right? But actually my board certification is in criminal trial law. So I have about 80 plus trials under my belt. I've done about 80 plus jury trials, which is a lot. And, you need to have 25 to get board certified as a minimum felony jury. Well, so quite an odd mix, but basically 25 trials, mixture of different things, jury trials. But I have about 80 under my belt. I haven't done them in quite a while, but I do have my certification. It's been renewed 3 times. But Mr. Terhune bows to no one when it comes to jury experience. I think he's in the over 250 jury trials that he has done in his career. Now, many of those in prosecutor. Not a lot of mine were as a prosecutor. So let's watch a little Terhune. Would you mind? You mind watching this? This is great stuff. Okay, this is him in action, closing argument. Let me pull this down here. Closing arguments. Let's see. I'm going to close this. Let's see here. Wait a second. I think this might be it.
All right, defendant.
I got to go up to 22 minutes here.
Your verdict has to be unanimous. Each juror must agree.
Success? All right, I'm going to
You
hold
should
my
not be
mic up.
influenced by feelings of prejudice, bias, or sympathy. It must
Thank
be based
you.
on the evidence. And again, I point to the evidence. Had he just had the cocaine? Possession of cocaine? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your time. I ask that you go back in your deliberations and find me guilty as the highest count charge, possession of cocaine.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Is it okay here?
Please the court. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is my first opportunity to address you directly. So again, let me reintroduce myself. My name is John Terhune. I want to echo what Ms. Simpson said in regards to thanking you for your service. This October, I'll be a member of the bar for 41 years. And during all that time, I've always thanked jurors because I know, as a student of the law, that our justice system in the United States, it does not exist short of a citizenry willing to come give up their time to be able to sit and listen to facts and then apply law. We do not exist as a country if we do not have that. So sincerely, on behalf of myself as a 41-year member of the bar, Mr. Edwards, and my co-counsel, Ms. Lopez, we thank you for your service. I continue to be in awe of what the founders did when
That didn't work. Can you hear me? All right, we're going to get it. This is good. Okay, this is all about burden of proof, right? Boy, technical difficulties. Jeez. Does it reset that? No, echo cancellation. All right, I'm going to try it again. Add to stream. You got to hear this, guys.
Case in a criminal trial where someone is charged
Hear
with a
that?
crime. The burden is absolute, and Judge Blackburn will give you the absolute definition of reasonable doubt. And you as jurors, it's one thing to kind of hear it when you're particularly going through jury selection. I think you'll find it's a whole different one when you're actually having to apply it. And you're now at that point in time in this case where you're going to have to actually apply that law specific to reasonable doubt. And when Judge Blackburn instructs you on reasonable doubt, she's going to tell you a reasonable doubt is not a possible doubt, speculative, imaginary, or forced doubt. Those type of doubts should not influence you to return a not guilty verdict if in fact you have an abiding conviction of guilt. But on the other hand, if after weighing, considering, comparing all of the evidence, you do not have an abiding conviction of guilt, or if having a conviction, it is not one that is stable, but rather it kind of wavers and vacillates, then the case has not been proven beyond a reasonable doubt, and by law, you must find the defendant not guilty. That is precisely what Judge Blackburn will instruct you on in just a little bit, and it's going to be up to you as the jury to be able to basically take that burden and then apply that burden to the facts of what you heard testified to and the introduction of evidence that happened in this courtroom today. Now, I know this example that I'm about to give you is going to age me, and for any of you that remember this, it may age you just a little bit. And the explanation will be easy enough, so even if you don't remember it, I think you'll get it. Way back when, there used to be a Wendy's commercial. And this Wendy's commercial, they had this little old lady, and she was looking at the burger. And the famous line came up basically, "Where's the beef?" And when I was watching the state's case unfold, I was thinking exactly that. Where is the beef? Let's think about what was really, truly proven today in this courtroom. Number one, it was clearly proven that our client was driving someone else's car. And by the way, that was actually shown during cross-examination, not during the presentation by the state. Socrates used to say cross-examination is one of the greatest revealers of the truth known to humankind. That car did not belong to our client. It belonged to somebody else. What else was proven by the state? Basically that car, the person that owned that car, was a drug user. They had a medical marijuana license. They used drugs. Number three, what did they prove? They basically proved that our client was in proximity to drugs basically after they were the car was rummaged through and they found this kind of stuff. He was in proximity to that. Now, why is that important? And we'll go to the jury instructions because there's something that's hugely important in the jury instructions. I'll see if I can get you to the right page so you can actually read along with me. This would be the second full page. And it'll be about halfway down. There's a substantial paragraph. This is under the section of possession of controlled substance. If you go just a little bit down from there, there's a substantial paragraph. And very importantly, in that substantial paragraph, it says, mere proximity to a substance does not establish that the person intentionally exercised control over the substance in the absence of additional evidence. What does the state prove? Basically, our client was in proximity to drugs that were in somebody else's car who was a drug user. Period. That's the case. To do anything else, you were stretching the facts. Now, Ms. Lopez, I thought, did a wonderful job in questioning the police officers. And I'm always deeply respectful of law enforcement. They have such a tough job to do. And I was so impressed with what the officer did in regards to maintaining the evidence to be able to protect it so that they could basically do testing on it. Remember, he had gloves. All the officers wore gloves. He testified they're trained to be able to do that. Why do you do that? We do that to maintain the integrity of the evidence. Whose burden is it? It's the state's burden. Not only did they not check any of those bags, or the money, or any of those things for fingerprints or DNA, they did not even make a submission. The officers testified they didn't test it. There is no evidence whatsoever that they even took the time to make a submission to be able to send it to FDLE to be able to determine, are there fingerprints on those bags? Are there fingerprints on those money? Any kind of DNA to be able to basically establish before a jury what the truth is. It didn't come out because it doesn't exist. Who is the burden on? State of Florida. What is the burden? Proof beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. The founders felt like, a long time ago, and thank God it's been since then, if we're going to put somebody on trial for a crime, state, you've got a burden. And if you do not meet that burden, there is only one verdict to be had, and that is not guilty. If you think about it, the stop, he did not flee and elude, he pulled right over. He was not rude, he got right out of the car. He did not appear to be high. There is nothing in that stop that happened that would give any indication that this young man knew anything about where the drugs were, what there were, or whether there were even drugs in the car. Ms. Simpson has shown you a PowerPoint presentation with a picture of all the items sat out there on the driver's seat. That's not how they were in the car. They were all over the car. They were here, they were there, they were here, they were there. They had to go digging for that stuff, and then it ends up on the seat of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, what has the state proven beyond a reasonable doubt? Our client was driving someone else's car who is a drug user, and he was in proximity, and you will read the jury instructions. That is not enough. Proximity alone is simply not enough. Great. What other evidence do you have, state, to be able to put this person in a position where he could be found guilty of a crime? And the answer is they have none. They have none whatsoever. One moment, please, Judge. By the way, as you are reading that definition of reasonable doubt, on, I believe, the third page, says, plead not guilty of reasonable doubt, burden of proof. Get everybody on that page. Let me see which one that is to be sure. First, second, third page. Very important, and you'll see in that big paragraph exactly the definition of reasonable doubt that I gave you. But you will see farther down, 2 paragraphs. A reasonable doubt as to the guilt of the defendant may arise from the evidence, a conflict in the evidence, or a lack of evidence. We have a lack of evidence because they just didn't cross their T's and they didn't dot their I's. And proximity in and of itself is simply not enough to be able to find beyond a reasonable doubt the charges in this particular case. You would have to make quantum leaps of assumptions based on the evidence that was shown today. And that's what you're to be able to make a decision on. The evidence that came out today. And I would submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our client, the state has not carried its burden. And the only verdict in this particular case is a not guilty verdict because the state of Florida did not prove the elements of this crime beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We thank you for your consideration. We ask you for a not guilty verdict for this young man.
Salute, man. John Terhune, Public Defender's Office, Circuit 7. The Honorable Matt Metz presiding. God bless America, man. I'll tell you. Not guilty, baby. So that is, let me flip it around here. Make sure we're okay audio-wise. See there? That's the way it's done. That's the way it's done. And I wanted to first of all shout out, that is one of your public defenders that your taxpayer supports and pays for. Could you get a better closing argument if you paid somebody $1 million? I'm so proud of the office I'm with. We have a great office, and this is one of our great prosecutors. This is just an average, everyday trial in the Public Defender's Office, Circuit 7. And we have a crushing team, and this is one of them. This is nowhere to be found but right here. You see, pretty good closing. 8 minutes, not guilty. See there? Get to the point. Well, he's telling the truth. Stick with the facts. Sticking with the instructions. Now, like I said, those instructions suck. So but I wanted to show you, even that was heroic public defender work, heroic defense attorney argument. And he utilized that to get a not guilty verdict, right? Just every day in your courtrooms around America. Thank you for paying your taxes. But I'll tell you, Terhune is a master. I'm very much admiring him. So let me see. All right, so we good? Did we get any Rumble rants or super chats on the way? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Let me see. I'll look over on Rumble. Nope, we're okay. Okay, so yeah, and I really love the point too. Did you see where he says broke up? He says, okay, those photographs that you see, and they're all assembled on the seat. He's like, they had to dig those out, right? That wasn't the way that the cops came up on him, right? They searched the car and plopped it all in there and took a picture of the group. I thought that was a very good point. You know, that that's a fine point that you don't think about, but that's a very important point, right? Great trial lawyer. I mean, to get a trial lawyer who's had over 250 trials, but we're not done. Okay, you think, see, this is the value you get at Gosney's stream, stevegosney.com. Make sure all of you guys that haven't bought my books, go buy the books, because that's why I do this. Not really. I like it. It's fun. But I'm writing the books. Actually, if you buy the books, then I'll keep writing them. If you stop buying the books, my wife's going to shut me down. And Summer Friend just is on pre-order. Wait, here. Summer Friend on pre-order here. Okay. So let's go back to some more. Okay, so that was good, right? Let's share screen again. Where are we? No, try again. No, try again. Cancel that. Hold on, I'm going to find it. Okay. Present. Share screen. Window. There we are. All right, so that was John Terhune. Pretty good, huh? All right, so now, next page that we shall address. Florida's recently enacted a non-unanimous jury scheme in death penalty cases. Right? 8-4. All is required in Florida to get death for a citizen of Florida. So here's my question to you. If there is a dispute about a fact among 12 reasonable individuals, there is necessarily a reasonable doubt. A non-unanimous jury means that at least one juror has a reasonable doubt. Thus, a non-unanimous verdict, by definition, is not beyond a reasonable doubt. How about that? Just a little bit of wisdom to think about. And that kind of came out, that was part of death penalty debates. So that's a little argument, a little piece I plucked out of that and dropped it in that PowerPoint. So, I got to write Nick. Nick wants PowerPoint. Nick, the Swedish labor lawyer. All right, so we're 8:43. I think that was pretty good. See, I told you it's less than an hour. We're going to get this done. MLS Law Show. I'm showing a friend how to super chat you. Oh yes, super chat, big super chats, and ask me lots of questions because I've got a few more. Okay, so we're done. That's the educational part. I like to put the educational portion up front because I want you all to learn and I want you to be good, and then we'll have the other stuff that maybe the non-super fans like y'all in the stream that are still here. Yes, Sneed, I do. Rumble is my primary because you know what they did to my friend Megan Fox. I don't trust those YouTubers. I trust the YouTube watchers. I don't trust YouTube as an organization. So Rumble is my primary. But I have now been monetized on YouTube. So thank you and it was because of you guys. So this is my second monetized YouTube stream. So, okay, I wanted to tell you about some cool stuff I have come up. Okay, we got Matt himself. I told you we're going to have a stream on ARs. AR-15, everybody knows the AR-15. The AR-10 is a .308, which is a much larger rifle round. An AR-10 was originally, Stoner actually developed the AR. It's Armalite rifle, AR. And he developed the Armalite rifle in the .308 caliber originally, and then downsized it to the AR-15 or the M16, which was the fully automatic version for the military. But the original weapon was an AR-10, and I have lots of questions about an AR-10 because they're not quite as standardized as the AR-15. So I had and Matt himself he has built an AR-10, and I have questions for him. And he also has an RV, and I was thinking in my retirement years, maybe my wife and I will be RVers. So I have questions about RVs also. So let's see here. That's that one. I am also working on Chandler Remington, and I'm going to discuss with Chandler Remington a number of topics. See, I keep these little stickies to keep you reminded of my live streams. I think we're aiming for Friday. I think we're aiming for Friday. But we're going to talk about her infamous tweet in which she had a little dialogue with Elon Musk, maybe. So I'm 2 steps away from Elon Musk now. Her law school plans. Maybe her facial tic that people seem to be jazzes people up. They want to pick on her about her kissy lips pick. I mean, I think she hit the lotto of facial tics. You know, if you're a cute little girl like Chandler Remington and you're going to have a facial tic, getting one that makes you want to kiss everybody, I mean, come on. That's like, there's some guy that's going to really hit the jackpot there, and that's a great tick to have. I don't know. I'm a fan, so she's very open about it, and I've teased her about it before. We were going to make a law card about that, but that stream that I teased her about, it got taken down by Jeff from Legal Vices. So, and then also, we're going to talk about The Summer Friend, because she actually edited The Summer Friend for me, and I think that I'm not giving the right I'm not giving the right advice or guidance to you, because nobody's buying The Summer Friend, and I really think it's a wonderful, heartwarming story. It's going to be it's a less expensive book. It's a novelette. It's a mostly true story. And it's not just for kids. It's also for, if you want to have a pleasurable, enjoyable read, then The Summer Friend is available for pre-order. I just ordered a bunch of books, and none of them are sold really. So please do go and pick up The Summer Friend. It's only available at stevegosney.com. And Chandler, she reviewed the book. She saw it, because this is a very personal, this is a true story about me going from elementary school into middle school, and that leaving childhood behind and growing into manhood or adulthood, or at least adolescence. And I think you all will relate to it. If anything, it will just give you a nice little beach vacation here in Ormond Beach, Florida. But it is available for pre-order, so I've ordered a bunch of them, so please do pick them up. And it'll be a nice, enjoyable thing. I'll sign them for you. And it's going to be full color, by the way, which is the first book I've done that's going to have a bunch of full color. It's got illustrations and photographs. It's a real more accessible and touchable book. So, Valhalla Waits wants to go for -4. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk. Let's see. Oh, and then I have another one. I have a guest that I'm working for next week, and that is Helen Humphreys. There's Humphreys Gold and Silver Exchange in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's on Main Street. Has any of you guys been to Main Street? Main Street is like the biker center of the world, and the bikes just line up. And Humphreys Gold and Silver Exchange have been there forever. And Valhalla, you're cracking me up. So he says, here's Valhalla. Maybe you get you need sponsorship, and then here he goes. Oh no, I'm cut off. Because the joke there is that, like, somebody like Nick sold 95 books on one stream, and Jeff of Legal Vices sold like 45 on one stream, and so the joke is that I've given Valhalla. Why do I give you? I just love Valhalla. That's why, and so yes, and let's see what else to talk about tonight. Was that a good stream, do you think? Oh, Helen Humphreys, right. So next week I'm going to have Helen Humphreys on. She's going to actually come over to my house. She's been a friend when I was a little tight kid, when I was about the age of The Summer Friend, right? I used to go down to the Gold and Silver Exchange, and she'd show me all these new coins, like she's a coin person, and all these interesting old coins and gold. She'd let me hold a big gold bar and a big silver bar, and she's got full of stories. She knows Evil Knievel, and just Mel Fisher, the Atocha, who found the Atocha. She's just got some great stories, and I want to share her with you. So she's going to actually come over to my house and sit next to me, and we'll talk, because she's not young. She's been around for quite a while, and she's sort of an institution here in Daytona, a legendary lady who has lots of great stories, and you'll be greatly entertained. So she'll be a light little interlude, and she'll come over and we'll have a conversation for you all. Let's see, what else do we got? So that was pretty good, huh? No more. Do we have any more Rumble rants or anything? Doesn't look like it. We've got. Let me look back, just make sure I didn't miss something here. How's everybody doing on Rumble? Good. I'm glad that we got the volume thing worked out. JCL Cool Runner. You need to go back. I'm in the house, right? You need to go back. Let's see who we got. Ginger with Soul. Oh, Let's Go Brandon's here. Yeah. Yes, Let's Go Brandon came through big time. And he did. Oh, Brandon, Let's Go Brandon. Did you see the stream with Jeff where everybody came together to make up? Yes, the Zimmerman. Maybe they use that chart in Zimmerman also, right? Michael Stetson says, live stream, but I just watched the closing arguments from the Zimmerman case. Reasonable doubt chart in the defense was very good. Yeah, we should be able to use that in everyone. It's much more clarifying. It makes a lot of sense. So that was one of the reasons I'm working on maybe setting up an appeal, that if some judge denies us from using that chart, we can appeal it. So, oh yeah, so Brandon, the Brucey the One-Eyed Wonder Dog is fully funded, and I would say the main reason it needs to be funded, and the reason I set up a Give, Send, Go campaign for that book, is because, I mean, most of these books I write myself, and it's all basically me and the printer, and it's a matter of I offset the book sales, and it's all works, right? The numbers work for books when just doing it myself. But when I bring in, it's a big cost. It's basically $2,500 in extra costs to put together Bruce Lee the One-Eyed Wonder Dog into a children's book, and to do it right. I mean, I don't want to. All of my stuff, I want it done right. I don't want to just give you garbage. It's going to be all good stuff. In fact, the Summer Friend is going to be the highest quality paper, the highest quality 4-color printing I can do. So, same thing with I want you with the Brucey book. So, thank God for Let's Go Brandon and Steph the Alternative who did her milkshake dance. Jeff for allowed me to grift on his stream. Aussie Overlord, MLS, you were there, but Aussie Overlord, he said, like, I forget the whole deal. It was a complex, structured deal between lawyers, but eventually we came up with a solution to the problem, and he kicked in like $680 or something like that. Aussie Overlord did, and which was very generous and very good. And he got to see the milkshake dance. That was epic. If you guys want to go back, start from about 2 hours in. At about 2 hours in, at Jeff's stream, his F It Friday stream from last time, the one where I'll explain it once again. So anybody didn't hear this explanation. Yes, Fast Group. That's a Martin D41, baby. That was Andrew Branca's. My last class I taught. That's what I got out of teaching the class. Yes, Let's Go Brandon. Look at this guy. He's a hero. And this is the thing. People lean on him too much. Y'all, he did a matching deal that really made Brucey the One-Eyed Wonder Dog happen. Oh, and it's Matt himself's birthday. Let's give him another happy birthday. Oh, so the reason I had 5 sidecars or 6 sidecars. 6 sidecars. This is wine, just a light glass of wine. Cheers to you, Brandon. Thank God for you, and you're making Brucey a success, and I'm very happy. And cheers. But the thing is like, and I'll just say it again. I said this last stream. You guys can tune out if you're bored at this point. But I felt like the first 2 hours there was some tension in the chats in the Vice Squad. And I'm a Vice Squad fan. I love the Vice Squad, right? And people were like I was grifting the whole, because I needed to make the 1500 mark for Let's Go Brandon to kick in his matching 1,000, right? And so I was aiming for that 1500. It was really slow going, and so it just wasn't working. And I think there was some tension in the chat because people were saying you're horning in on Jeff's grift. You know, Jeff isn't getting his dollars or whatever, and I'm siphoning that off. That was kind of the feeling I got. Now that some people were saying, well, that was only a couple chatters. But the thing is that I had pre-cleared this with Jeff because I said beforehand, I said, do you mind if I really grift? Because I've got this mark to make because Let's Go Brandon put the challenge out to us. And I said, you know, is it okay if I grift on your channel? And he's like, yeah, sure. You know, Jeff is one of the nicest guys. He's like, definitely do that, right? Go for it. So I get on there and I'm sort of grifting on, trying to like push the Brucey the One-Eyed Wonder Dog thing because I need to get that in order to get the book printed or get the illustrations done, right? So that's what we, you know, so I start doing that, and then there's this pushback because they don't know that I've pre-cleared it, right? And then so in the middle of the stream, I'm like, you know, I really felt bad, and so I told Jeff on this private chat, I said, look, if you want me to back out, tell me. I'll stop pushing it if you want me to stop. And Jeff was so cool. Jeff, like in the private chat, didn't have to, he could have said, yes, lay off that, right? He's like, no, go for it, go for it. So he gave me the big thumbs up during the chat. So I was like, oh, that was so nice. And so, yeah, so Rose, here, see Rose? I'm not just spouting it off. Look here, Rose. She says, Jeff gave the go-ahead. We mods grifted Steven in the chat. He asked first. Yes, he was very much on board about that. I'm very sensitive. I'm a sensitive kind of guy. And Matt himself says he made 800 super chat, 1,800 super chat. I get it. But still, it's his stream. It's not my stream, right? So I'm just sensitive to that. So once that kind of happened, and then when Aussie put in, that it was Aussie Overlord who came in and put the challenge down. He said, I will make this happen, because he wanted to see the milkshake dance and he wanted people to contribute to Jeff and get going, and it would just open the floodgates, and it just worked out so great. So I'd say, if you want to watch a great bit of epic streaming, go to YouTube's or wherever Jeff's F It Friday stream is, and go from about 2 hours in forward. And then so once we achieved that goal, I felt like I kind of owed Jeff. I mean, because he's such a nice guy and he's got an iron liver. So I said, I'm here. I told Jeff, I am here until you tell me otherwise, right? I am going to drink until you say otherwise, right? And so then he's like, well, the next dollar that comes in, drink Gosney, drink the next sidecar. He says like, and so I'm like, okay, but I had committed to Jeff, and I did that. So that's what got, and I don't know, like, I don't really remember falling forward, but I woke up immediately. I mean, I kind of woke up and recovered, and then I'm like, hey, hi everybody. And then I kind of went to sleep, but I didn't really sleep. The thing is I was listening to what was going on, but my brain at the time said, nothing there requires my commentary. So in the meantime, I'm just going to rest. But I was listening. I just didn't hear anything that really required me to say anything. So I just sat there and eyes closed. And then Jeff kicked me off the stream, which was fine by me because then I went right to bed. And then I slept till 11:30. I got up, no problem. Everything was fine. So anyway, thumbs up. Now, one more thing. Who's got a stream, and how do I dump it into somebody else's stream? Can y'all help that? Because I've done that before. Did I get all the Rumble rants and super chats? I guess so. I owe Nick the PowerPoint. Thank you all to Julie O, Unhung Hero, Danielle, Nicholas, and MLS. Thank you very much. And who's got a stream that I can dump to, and can I dump to them? Those are the two questions. I think the expert's got a stream going on. Let's see here. Expert. Oh yeah, the expert's at 9:05. What time is it now? 5 more minutes. We can do that. So how do I do this? Okay. So can we like, this is one of those things. I'm trying to get better at this whole YouTube thing. So we'll like, let's hang out for like 5 more minutes, and then we'll do a Gosney raid. This is cool. I get to do a raid. Yeah, YouTube's MLS. You've been having issues redirecting. Does anybody have any clue on how to do the redirect thing? Somebody showed me once before. I think it might have been Valhalla. Hunter. Oh, Hunter's in the stream. Hey, I want to show something since we got 5 minutes. Check out this death penalty debates. Look who's on the back of death penalty debates. Can you see this? Come on, tune in. Come on. Why is my thing not tuning in? There it is. A great raid, easy to follow. There's really nothing out there quite like it. Hunter Logan. Right from the chats. So, it's messed. YouTube is messed up. We'll ever see a music stream audio. Okay, I got to put that down. What do you want to see in a music stream audio? Because I can do music stream. I think we'll do like music recommendations. That's a good idea. Here, let me show you that audio. Go to YouTube. All right, Shane. Go to YouTube Studio. All right. Hold on. Copy this. I think that I need that. YouTube Studio, right? All right. Hold on. Darn it. Yeah, how do I... It was very complicated. Content, comments, subtitles, customization. Ugh. Stuff is so ridiculous. Settings? Settings, maybe? Content? Promotions, podcasts? No, analytics? I don't know how to do this. Customization? No? Okay, hold on. I'm going to go back and watch. You play Nick Sings. Edit the click. Maybe you go to your live stream, click edit the video and go to customization. Okay. Hold on. Working on it. By the time I get done with this, okay, customize channel? No. Let's go here, edit. No. Wait a second. Whoops, that's me. Edit video. Aha. Okay. Playlist audience. No, it's not made for kids. Customization. Cancel, save that. Redirect. Ah, see there? Okay, redirect. Ah. No, wait a second. Choose a specific video. Other channels. Okay, here. Don't have any redirect privileges? Oh, sorry. I thought that was going to be fun. I know. I was going to redirect to the expert. Well, I'll go over and hang out with the expert with you guys for a while, all right? It's 9:03, so let's all go hang out with the expert. Okay? That was fun. So was that a little different, little Gosney? Thanks all for hanging out. I'm going to shut it down now. Thank you all for hanging, and I'll talk second in room with Fast Group. Just go to stevegosney.com and contact me. All right, manual raid. Yes, Matt himself. Manual raid. All right. Thank you, Birds of Proof. Thank you. It was I'm having fun. I had fun with that one. And I can't, not even Steve can do a raid. I know. I'm just dying. But this is not my thing. Yeah, hit thumbs up on the way out. Thank you. God bless.